So, welcome everybody. It is finally, I am able to say a rainy day in good old Markham, Ontario, Canada. And so, we're going to do a rainy day yoga practice. So, kind of to take the blues away, wake us up, 45 minutes, and we're going to start standing today. So, you can take some space right at the tip of your yoga mat. So, the short end of your yoga mat. And I've got my feet about hip distance apart or hip socket apart. So, whatever you feel comfortable with. And just really take a moment to ground down in all four corners of your feet. So, if you think of the four corners of the feet as the big toe ball, the big knuckle of the big toe, the knuckle of the pinky toe is the second one. And some people will say 3 points of the foot, creating the three arches. You can also think of the heel as the inner and outer heel. So gently pressing down all 4 points of those feet. You want to think of your inner ankles pulling in towards each other to light up the inner thighs. And also think of your outer hips pressing away or sliding. So you're almost sliding and pulling in at the same time. So your legs are very strong. Press down more through the feet and press the thigh bones to the back of the room while bending your knees just a little micro bend by pulling your shins forward. Think of nice and sturdy. Think of the tailbone aiming down and the pubic bone gently pressing towards the pubic bone, or sorry, the tailbone gently pressing towards the pubic bone as the sides of your hips pull back to resist that pubic bone or that tailbone pushing forward. So the sides of the hips pull back as the tailbone pushes towards the pubic bone. Nice and strong in the pelvis and the legs, yeah? And then the ribs kind of pick up and lift as the spine lengthens up towards the sky. So you lift the front ribs, the side ribs, the back ribs, and the collarbones kind of open up like laser beams out to the sides of the room. So even your palms might turn forward here because the shoulders externally rotate. All right, so kind of open across your chest, shoulder blades drawing down the back. Think of the crown of your head picking up and your chin living parallel to the floor. So if you're one that you notice that you do have a little forward chin or neck flexion, where kind of the nose starts to come forward, the head starts to come forward, same with the shoulders, pull your nose towards the base of your skull or the back of your skull so that your earlobes sit right on top of your shoulders. All right, so find your mountain. It's a very strong pose, very strong, very steady, and stable. We've really aligned our bones here. Just take a few moments to settle into your mountain posture. Feel free to close your eyes. Don't be surprised. Mountains actually do sway in the wind. So if you start to sway, that's fine. Connecting to your natural breath here. And then we will start our yogic breath. So long, deep, and even. Start to invite the air all the way down to your perineum, the base of your pelvis. And as you exhale, engaging bandha. So pelvic floor lifts up a couple floors and the abdominals kind of wrap in towards the organs, giving them a hug on all sides. Inhale, release the bandhas, stretch and elongate. And then exhale. So when I say the pelvic floor lifts, think about 1 to 3 floors, right? If you had 10 floors as your maximum contraction, you're just picking up the base of the pelvis, lifting and holding up the organs and drawing the navel in. So just a couple more rounds, and then we're going to do a sun salutation. Good. Connecting with your body, connecting with the earth, and also connecting with the sky, the heavens. Nice. If your eyes were closed, just gently flutter them open. And we're going to look down and just Charlie Chaplin your feet wide. So heels, toes, maybe heels and toes. So my heels are on my mat. My toes are actually kind of hanging on the floor. And I'm kind of sending my toes out into corners. We're going to inhale, sit the hips back. Think of our deep squat with the knees wide. Yep. butt way back. So pull your shins back, sit the weight back in the heels, reach those arms up. Nice. Good. And then exhale, press through the heels, send the tailbone to pubic bone forward. So we'll do it again. Sit the hips back, even draw your shins back. And then exhale, push through the heels to come up. Very nice lines. Christine, 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale, press through the feet, especially those heels. Last one, holding it down there. Inhale. And then exhale, hands either to the floor or you can take your elbows to your thighs. Try to sit a little deeper into your squat. Been working on our Hindi squat for a good, nice, it's getting better in a good while. Then inhale, pull your arm bones up again. Yep. Exhale, plant the hands down, step back into downward dog. So that upside down V, good. Spread your fingers, spread your toes. Really use the hands to shift the pelvis back and up. Very nice. So heels of the hands, knuckles, and fingers all kind of rolling off from heel to knuckle to fingers, pressing the floor down and forward. Oh, that feels so nice on the calves. So we're going to do even better calf stretch here. Keeping your shoulders back. You're going to inhale, bend the knees, and exhale, press back to dog. Good, amazing. Keep going and exhale. Let's do 3 of those. Maybe 4. On your next inhale, unhinge into plank, and then walk your knees directly under your hips. Inhale, dog tilt. Little back bend here. So dip the belly, open the chest. Very nice. And then exhale, cat stretch. Dome your back, tuck your tail, tuck your chin. Let's do that one more time. This time, hovering our knees. So tuck your toes, pull the belly in, hover the knees. Inhale, little back bend. And then exhale, cat. Pull that navel into spine. Coming back to our squat, step the right leg forward and then the left leg. Inhale, exhale, sink deep in your pelvis. Both legs forward. You got it. Inhale, pull the arms back, and exhale, pull the navel into your spine. Good. Inhale, push the floor away to come up, and exhale, palms by your sides. Nice. Let's do one more round. Inhale, sit the hips back, go as deep as you can. Exhale, hands to the floor. Even deeper. Nice. Inhale, pull the arm bones back one more time. And then exhale, lean forward a little bit, plant your hands, step back to dog pose. Spread your fingers and toes. Good. Bending those knees. Inhale, keeping the shoulders back. Exhale, press the thighs back. 3 more. Good. That looks lovely. Good job at keeping your shoulders back into the spot that they're in. Good. On your next inhale, unhinge into plank. Yeah. Exhale, knees under hips. Inhale, cat, or I always get confused with this, but back bend. Exhale, cat stretch. Hover if you wish. Tuck the toes. Inhale. And exhale, cat. Inhale, left foot. Exhale, right foot. Inhale, exhale, deep squat. Good. Inhale, exhale, arms up. Nice, Christine. Nice. And then inhale, push the floor away. Exhale, palms by your side. Lucky number 3. One more set. Inhale, sit back. Deep squat. Good. Exhale, hands to the floor, deeper if possible. Good. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, lean in, walk back to dog. Once your shoulders are pressing to those hips, then drop those knees. Inhale and exhale, press them back. Great stretch for the calves here. Focus on lifting the toes up as you press the thighs back. Last one. Very good. And when you're ready, inhale, unhinge. Exhale, knees under hips. Inhale, back bend. Little belly stretch here. Exhale, cat stretch. Tuck your chin, stretch. Good. Tuck the toes. Inhale, hover the knees if you want. Exhale, cat. And then inhale, right foot. Exhale, left foot. Sink deep in your hips. All right, when you're ready, inhale, exhale. And then inhale, push the floor away. Exhale, palms by your side. Bring your toes forward. So now the feet live back in parallel. Take a moment in Tadasana in preparation for standing strength. So that one gets my heart rate up. I don't know about you, but it's a good one for energy. It's like a little shot of espresso. All right, we're going to balance. So I'm going to use the terms away and home leg today, leg and arm. So the home leg or the home arm is the one closest to your I guess your camera, and the away leg or arm is furthest away. All right, so let's shift the weight into the away leg. So I got it right. And bring your home leg up. So for you, it would be other way. Yeah, the leg closest to the camera. You got it. Square your pelvis up and then open across your chest. So just really reach those fingers down, lengthen the crown up. So feel that kind of opposition. Good. As the tailbone presses forward, the sides of the pelvis pull back, and the standing leg is straight but not locked. Good. Stepping back into a lunge. As you step back, your arms are going to sweep up. So this is more of a 90-90 lunge. So my back knee is under my hip-ish, right? Whatever feels good. My front knee is living over its ankle. The hips are square to the short edge of your mat. And we're going to take this to a back bend. So really work at pulling the back hip forward and drawing the front hip back so you square your pelvis. Cactus arms, palms forward. You're going to inhale, pull the heart forward. All right, as if someone's got a little string attached to the center of your chest and they're drawing it forward as you reach your elbows back. Good. And then exhale if you want. Reach your arms up. Maybe look up. Pull that navel in. Lift the chest up. Maybe look up. Keep squaring through the hips. Good. Power in the legs. 2 more breaths here in this big open heart lunge. On our next posture, moving into pyramid. So closing it off, pitch the chest forward, straighten your back leg. Take your hands to your hips and plant your back heel. Back toes turn out slightly. Square the pelvis off as you straighten your front knee. And then either stay up here. I'm more interested in keeping our spine straight and the pelvis level than curving the spine and getting the hands to the floor. So if your front knee is straight like me, you can put lots of weight into the ball of the foot. If your knee is bent, then of course there's going to be a little more weight in your heel. Just keep that in mind. But wherever you are, open across the chest. Lift the ribs away from the pelvis. And almost feel like your legs are pressing down and try to slide to the short edges of your mat. It's like you're trying to stretch your mat apart lengthwise. 2 more breaths. So feel that power in the back glute as you really try to press the back heel down and away. Nice. Bend your front knee. Take off your back leg. All right. My hands are here to kind of remind you, oh, are my hips square? Are they parallel to the floor? You got to drop that home hip down to make it level with the away hip. If you want, extend your elbows, reach your fingers behind you. Nice. Hang in there. Good. And then inhale, reach up, look up. Both feet plant to the floor. Extended mountain. And then exhale, palms by your side. Good. Just hang out there for a few breaths. Palms forward, chest open. Noticing any sensations in and around your body. Beautiful. Going to the other side, shifting to the home leg. Picking up the away leg. Press down through the 4 corners of the foot. Press your thigh bone back as the shin bone slightly pulls forward to not lock the knee. Now think of the sides of your pelvis moving back as back as your tailbone presses forward towards the pubic bone. Feel the strength and the shift there. That opposition of the side pelvis moving back, pubic bone moving forward. Nice. On your next inhale, sweep the arms up as you take your leg back. Yeah, good. So check in. You don't need to be on a tightrope here. You can always widen the distance between the left and the right foot to have a wider base of support if you need to. To start, focus on squareness of the hips. So your away hip bone's going to pull forward and your home hip bone's going to pull back until it's called scissoring. I love it. It's so powerful because it kind of locks you in and keeps you nice and stable. All right, hang on to that as we cactus the arms, palms forward, elbows back, chest on a little string. Reveal yourself. Length through the back of your neck, bending through the back knee. Good. Try to get a bend in that back knee to further stretch the hips. And if you want, start to V the arms, palms facing each other. Look up, tailbone pressing to pubic bone, zippering up pubic bone to navel. Really opening up here. Beautiful. 2 more breaths. Amazing. Pyramid pose. Pitch the chest forward, straighten the back knee. Good. Take your hands to your hips, plant the back heel. Re-square your pelvis. You might have lost it. I did. So if you did, or I did, you might have. Open your chest as you straighten the front knee. Now, if you don't want to straighten the knee, that's fine. Even if you're up here with a straight front knee, at least we're attaining that hamstring stretch. Good. And then just work your way from there. So maybe a little hinge at the hip. Maybe that's enough. You really feel it in the hamstring right at this point. Just stay there and just feel what it feels like to push in through the ball of the foot. Very good, Christine. Excellent. I'm sure you're feeling it in the back of the front leg there. So just stay there. Keep pressing the big toe ball down. This helps to protect your hamstring joints. Very nice. And then bend the front knee. Keep your hands on your hips. Shift the weight into the front foot. Pick the back leg up. Front knee can be straight or bent. All right, square the hips so that away hip bone turns down towards the floor. There's a little inner rotation of your away thigh bone. Option to extend those elbows. Reach the shoulder blades away from the ears as the crown of the head reaches away from the tail. Feel that length. 2 more breaths. Awesome. And then inhale, reach up, look up. Both feet find the earth. Tailbone down, pubic pressing forward. So again, tailbone down, but it presses to the pubic bone as the side pelvis moves back. Those 2 points moving in opposition to help stabilize, just like scissoring. All right, last breath in. And exhale, take a rest in Tadasana. In preparation for some hip opening. So find the 4 points of the feet. Good, micro bend in the knees. I have a tendency to hyperextend, like press. It's almost like my legs are bowing. I'm not too bad, but some people you'll see their calf bow quite significantly. They got to pull their tops of their shin bones forward so their knees slightly bent. Awesome. Nice. Coming down into downward dog. Let's do a vinyasa to get there, a flow. Inhale, reach up. Palms may touch. Exhale, swan dive and fold off a cliff. Nice visual. Inhale, halfway up. Flat back. Palms pressing into the shins or the thighs, whatever they've found. Good. Collarbones are wide. Think of those laser beams out to the sides of the room. And then exhale, plant the hands, step back into plank. Good. Hug your contents of your belly into your back. And then drop the knees. You're going to exhale, lower halfway down. And then inhale, flip your dog. Come into a little back bend. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So tailbone presses to pubic bone zippers up to your belly button, collarbones are wide. Think of your arm bones pulling back towards your heels of your hands pulling back towards your knees. Last two breaths. And then exhale, shift back through table. Curl your toes back to downward dog. So back bends are great for rainy days, just to give you that boost of energy. We're going to move into some hip opening too. On our next inhale, shift to your home leg. The weight comes to the home leg. Pick up your away leg. Three-legged dog here. Good. A little core work never hurt anybody. As you exhale, float to plank. Take your away knee to away elbow. And then reach that foot back up again, three-legged dog. Now away knee to home elbow, just to make you think. A little bit of a twist. Opposite elbow. Good. And then reach back up. And then exhale, take your foot in between your hands, coming into a high lunge. Good, or a runner's stretch, as we call it. So really ground through your front heel. Make sure your front shin's vertical before you decide to lift the arms up. Press the floor away. Inhale. Arms reach over the head. Now, if this is too much, you can plant your hands on your thigh. But just to add that little extra, really working through the glute in the front leg. Try to get the back knee straight like plank pose if you can. 2 more breaths. The option here is to have the back knee on the ground. Try to get that back thigh straight. So really straighten that right knee. Yes, press the thigh bone to the ceiling. Good. Lift the kneecap. More, Christine. Try to get it straight. I know. Good direction. And then exhale, hands come down. You're going to take both hands to the inside of your foot. And then walk your away foot towards the outskirts of your mat. All right, so you've widened your stance. You're going to drop your back knee, uncurl the toes, and just focus on a nice hip stretch. So remember, it's not yin where we're relaxing, and we want to press the away heel into the floor. We want to lift the chest forward and up, and we want to pull the heels of the hands back towards the behind us. All right, so you feel that kind of pulling of the heart forward. You might feel your triceps light up. Holding up here, 2 more breaths, strong in the upper body. Think Sphinx in the upper body. Beautiful. And now if you like, you can kind of fold forward. Maybe you come to the outside elbow first. Maybe not. Maybe the inside elbow. Deep hip opener here. And then press those palms back up. Watch first, because I'm going to turn away from you. So curl your back toes, press your back thigh straight. I'm going to pivot both my toes away from you and then turn. A little bit of a twist here. So my away toe, yes. My toes have totally gone. My front toes are perpendicular to my mat. And so are my bottom toes as well. 2 more breaths. You can look to the side. You can look up. You can also look down at the hand below. Good. And then exhale, hand comes down, swivel on the feet, and step back to dog pose. If dog pose doesn't feel like a rest, then just drop down to your knees and hang out in a nice child's pose. Whatever works, right? Working here in dog, 5 breaths before we go to the other side. This is going to be our inversion for today. And when you're ready, 2 more breaths. If you're in child's pose, inhale, come back to table, and exhale, press to downward dog. Shift your weight to your away leg and pick your home leg up, 3-legged dog. As you exhale, float into plank, home knee to home elbow, and then inhale, reach back up. Home knee to away elbow. A little bit of a cross, turning the pelvis, good, and then inhale back up. And then exhale, step the foot in between the hands, any way you can get them there. Good. Take your time to really set your front shin vertical, because that's going to be your support. Press down through the heel of the front foot. Inhale, either hands to thighs. All right, so really important here to keep the back knee straight so the front of the back thigh is active. Inhale, float your arms up. Option. Good. Power in that front hip for sure, pushing down through the heel center. Last breath in. Good. Exhale, hands come down. Take them to the inside of your foot, and then walk your front foot to the outer edge of your mat. Hip sink, drop your back knee. Hip sink, chest pulls forward. So I want you to think like Sphinx, or any time that we're kind of back bending. In this case, our hands are on the floor. So we're pulling the heels of our hands towards the back of our mat. It's like we're trying to drag ourselves forward, but we can't because the mat is sticky. Right? So our knees caught, our foot's caught, and so forth. Good. Lifting the chest here, looking forward, a little bit of a back bend. Good. Now exhale. Maybe you fold forward. So you could come down onto a block. Forgot to mention that, but always if you're going to come down onto the elbow, it's going to be the outside elbow first. Yeah. Yogic breath. Nice. And then inhale, lift your head, press up with your arms. Now, the back knee goes straight. Here's our swivel with the feet. The toes pivot towards the camera, and we turn. This is a big one. You got to pivot the toes perpendicular to the mat. I know I can't see your foot, but I'm guessing you got to turn your toes more towards me, Christine. Yeah. See my foot? Externally rotate. Yeah. So pulling that front knee towards the pinky toe. Good. Last breath in. Lift the side waist. Amazing. Exhale. That's tough. Swivel on the feet. Step back to dog. And again, if dog doesn't feel like a rest on the wrists or whatnot, drop to our knees and just sit back in a beautiful child's pose. Amazing job. Take rest. Two more postures and then relaxation. So we're going to do a back bend and a twist. So for a back bend, just lift your head, come on up onto your knees if possible. So the option here, if this is too wildly of a bend in the knees, is to do this with your hands in this position. All right, so the option I was thinking about is starting on the heels. So if you have full bend and flexibility in the knees, then try this one. If you find it hard to reach back behind you, then I would suggest reaching back for a block, creating a little bit of a longer arm. Okay, but even if your finger pads are down, that's typically enough. So in terms of our pelvis, I want, again, tailbone pressing towards the pubic bone zippering up to the navel. So there's a pelvic tilt, or it's called a posterior tilt. So the pelvis is tilting backwards. Open across your chest, pull your arm bones back as your chest pulls forward. Looks good. Now from here, we're going to push the hips up. So lift the hips, squeeze the inner thighs a little bit together, the energy there anyways. And here's our posture. 5 breaths here. Breathe into the front line of your body. Nice. I'm looking forward today. I'm not letting my head go. You could if you felt really comfortable with your neck. Puffing up the chest, opening. Beautiful. Keep pressing your tailbone to your pubic bone, zippering pubic bone to navel. Inner thighs squeezing together, inner ankles squeezing together, and then slowly lower the hips, looking forward and down and coming up. Very nice. Take a moment here in neutral. I'm just going to give you a front view so you can see a little more clearly about what's going to happen with the legs. So for our twist, it is one of the many Lord of the Fishes postures. So I'm just going to fall over onto my left hip and then pick up the right leg and sweep it around. Now, this twist calls for turning towards the right leg. I might start to twist away from it just because I'm running out of room. Okay, but you can definitely twist towards the leg. So I'll cue you to inhale, reach your left arm up. Exhale, reach your left rib forward as you reach your elbow to the outside of the knee. You're trying to kind of close the gap between elbow and thigh, but keep the spine straight. So keep the spine straight first and foremost, closing the gap secondly. And then inhale, reach your back arm or your right arm up. Exhale, plant the hand but down behind you so the back arm acts more like a second spine. You can even push the back arm bone into the back ribs to help lift you up even more. And then slowly, left ribs forward, right ribs back. Looks good. Left shoulder blade forward, right shoulder blade back. And then starting to look with your eyes physically over your right shoulder to finish the twist. Three more breaths here. Finding the edge, but not going over it. Really beautiful opportunity to kind of wring out the organs, detoxify them. Nice. And slowly on your next inhale, unravel. We'll just do a little micro counter twist. So turn away. Yep. And then exhale, lean into that left hand, come back onto your knees. And again, if this is too much to sit like this, don't sit on your heels. Just pop your hips up and have your thigh bones vertical. Just take a small moment to let the parts of the twist reflush with fresh energy and blood. And then we'll fall to the other side. So onto the right hip, sweep your back leg around, your left leg. Inhale, right arm reaches up. Exhale, reach that right rib forward as the left rib comes back. So Christine, if you need to, the bottom leg can be straight. Bottom leg can be straight. So your left leg is, yeah. And if it's too much to have your foot coming across the leg, you can also place it beside it. You can try that. Or you unbend the knee a little bit as well. So inhale, kind of tilt your pelvis forward so the tailbone aims down. Reach your right rib forward and exhale, turning. I like to turn from the navel up. So kind of slowly spiraling my way right out through my gaze, eventually finding my physical edge with my neck. And letting the breath do the rest of the magic. Each exhalation, squeezing the bandhas, squeezing the energy in and up. Nice. And on your next inhale, slowly unravel. Lean over that right hand, bend your bottom knee if you need to, and come back to your kneeling position. So let's finish off in child's pose. And actually, we'll do an inversion. So if you do have a block, you can put the block underneath your pelvis if you like. You want to elevate your organs higher than your hips, higher than your heart. Or you can just lift your legs up in the air. If you have a wall, you can take advantage of that by shimmying up as close to the wall as you can get. And then floating those legs up. I make it sound easy, but it's not. It takes practice to master this. So this is the classic legs up against the wall, one of the best postures in the restorative world. It's considered the pretty much the queen and the king of all restorative postures. All right. So if you're at a wall and you want to take advantage of a block under the pelvis, you're going to bend your knees, roll or lift your pelvis up, and place the block underneath the back of the pelvis. It's really you're placing it on the sacrum, the kind of low triangular bone on the spine. Good. And then today, your arms can either reach down like they would in Shavasana, palms up, or you can try cactus. This is kind of nice because gravity is kind of opening your chest a little bit. So choose what feels right for you today. Check in with your neck. I always have a nasty habit of kind of jamming my chin into my throat. So I want to focus on lifting my chin level with my forehead so my nose points up. You might tuck it in a little bit, but not excessively. Beautiful. 2 minutes here. Now you could spend much more. You could be 5, 10, even 20 minutes. I would stay here as long as you comfortably could. So what would make me get out of this pose is if obviously I felt discomfort or pain, or I lost sensation. So if I was getting pins and needles or something like that. So soften the brow, the temples, the jaw. Let's add some pranayama to this. So we're going to inhale for 6 counts, a little short pause at the top, and then exhale for 8 counts. Just making our exhalation longer than our inhalation. Little pause at the top, utilizing the full lung capacity, and then exhale, slowly letting it out. There's got to be thousands of benefits to this posture, but some to name a few. It's a wonderful way to calm the nervous system, but also wake it up, get you more alert. It's obviously incredible for circulation by reversing the flow. And especially very, very strong benefit for the lymphatic system. So our detoxification system, draining the lymph nodes. The lymph has a much harder time getting up than blood does. So when we can turn ourselves upside down, or I'm sure you may have heard jumping on a trampoline is like one of the best things you can do, 5-10 minutes a day to really get the lymphatic system up and running. It's pretty much a protocol of any kind of naturopathic-ish cancer patient. Let's do 1 more minute here. And again, if you're losing sensation or feel pain, just you can transfer down into Shavasana. Now, using as little energy as possible. If you do want to stay, if you're very comfortable here and wish to stay for longer, please do. Don't let me stop you. Otherwise, we're going to transfer down to Shavasana. So, bending the knees. If you have a prop underneath you, push your feet in to the floor or the wall and then remove the prop. Lower your pelvis. Take a moment. You hug your knees into your chest and roll over to one side into fetal position, just letting some of the blood pressure regulate or equalize. Feeling fresh, oxygenated blood find its way back into the feet and the limbs and the organs. And then making your way onto your back. So if you want to add some warmth here, some weight to the body, that might be nice, like a blanket across the chest or the whole body. You might put some socks on. Not only have we stopped moving, but as we kind of twist and turn and do all these wonderful things, the body will naturally detoxify a little bit through the skin. And that usually causes a reduction in temperature. So it's really important to stay cozy and warm. You don't want to get a chill because it's very, obviously, very difficult to relax when we're cold. You want to feel safe and cozy and protected. So when you've discovered that you're nice and warm, take rest on your back, stretch your arms and legs evenly from your midline. Just check in, make sure you're not gripping in your hips. So let your toes kind of hang out to the sides. Soften the heart, melt the back ribs. And as you rest and relax, just let your body take whatever shape it desires. Soften your face. Relax the jaw. And just feel the weight of your body melt into the floor. With each breath going deeper. Releasing the deep layers of tension now. Relax. 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 the sounds of the tincture bells to reverberate through your body. And as always, if you want to stay still here for longer, please go ahead. Otherwise, starting to move the fingers and the toes, taking some more generous inhales, maybe stretching your arms over your head and reaching one higher than the other, like you woke up from a nap. But eventually hugging those knees into the chest. Feel free to rock from side to side. Classically rolling over onto the right side of the body, so the masculine side. Since we're in a hatha practice, which is a sun, a solar, an energizing practice. Just take rest in fetal. And when you're ready, come on up to a seat. If you didn't beat me to it already. All right, so doing our best to keep the pelvis in alignment. So tipping the pubic bone down. Now that can be tough if there's restrictions, right? So just be kind to yourself. You don't have to force it, but this is that spot where you would elevate your pelvis higher to make it more comfortable for your knees, your hips, or wherever you're feeling the pull. And just relax your shoulders as your crown lengthens up. The crown lifts, the shoulders depress, the ribs pick up, the pelvis anchors. So there's downward pressure of the sit bones to help lengthen the spine or decompress your spine. You can literally press the pelvis down as you lift the ribs away. Soft eyes, relax the jaw. Just take a few moments to position your heart right over your perineum. So obviously not your physical heart, but that just the part of the heart that lives, the chakra that lives directly over the perineum. So the perineum is the home of the base chakra, the root. And you kind of know when you've got it because you're not leaning forward, you're not leaning back. It's that little sweet spot. And just take a few more moments, just resting your awareness on your breath, on its quality, its depth. Notice any physical sensations. And then turning your awareness into your heart space, envisioning the color green. This is the seat of compassion, of love. It's where the heaven meets the earth. And just take a moment to be grateful here for the gift of your body, the space you've created, the time. And anything else you're grateful for. And hopefully taking some of that gratitude into action throughout your day. Let's finish off today by just sweeping the arms up on a big inhale. Gathering all that wonderful energy. Exhale, palms in front of your heart. Thumbs pressing into that seat of compassion, of love. Not only love for each other, but love for yourself. And then the mind bows down to the heart. And the heart bows to its body. Namaste. Namaste. Excellent. I hope you had a lovely, lovely practice. Super nice to be with you on a rainy day. But hey, we don't have to be blue on a rainy day, do we? See you soon.